Niekoso ewo the Comfort Nochi Teaching Hospital. Akoyen Zimpi. Na minimise watiti no bebre. Bra Facebook nebehwe, this is the situation at Comfort Nochi. Na nurses ni bi a womu ebe adwuma ehia yadefo a womani aye won totontoto ka kire womu se ene doctor eni ho enti kofie. This is Friday near a course so kakra. Enti uba Facebook a behwa yarefo a omugu ho na nurse ni no e ka kire omo se ene yentimi enhwemo baby ebinum free buy kwan tenten ni ade because doctors no declare strike. This is the situation currently ewo eye Comfort Anochi Teaching Hospital starting from bra doctors no declare strike no eti bra nurse ni no instruct wo munini wo hwe maami we kra dia se utimi se mi se wakoye test bi aba ne paper dane na so no. So this is Comfort Nochi Teaching Hospital. Na just utimi say ayarefo nyina no omaye basa. Ayarehwe omo beje no aye bibie wo. Na ni nyina ne say a doctor for no eco strike and the intina strike na ba. A suspension Minister of Health Mr. Akando was suspended a year the CEO Chief Executive Officer oda Comfort Nochi ano. Na oba Facebooka Jeffa document no eto homa me na dodo na eka say Mr. Akando any right say or catch the board and say omun suspended no. In fact say Ushemu ewo Ghana Health Service and Teaching Hospitals Act 1996 Act 526 no emano sa akwenya no say as a minister ono no ejina mfimfin between the president and a teaching hospital board no say be ya omu decisions omu taking normal bebre wo no mo a policy directives bi wo ho a ono as a minister no ebe communicated to the board for its implementation ti eda ho Jeffa act no mame na yenhwe eno kakra ti wo hwe act no a 36:1 no the minister regional so was limitations of functions of a teaching hospital board. The functions of a teaching hospital board under this act shall be exercised subject to such policy directives as the minister may determine. As the minister may determine. And you I say the board should be autonomous, and of course, minister needs to trokoma a board no wrong. In fact, the act gives the minister that authorities will be to me actual. Ede akoma eye board no to take certain actions. Inti omanom kas will need that constitutional right and a legal basis no. The minister no letter no was cited this particular act. We cry Act 525 as amended Act 526. Inti wo ho ewum saa. And a minister no cite yes fabreme suspension no letter no fabreme. Or say pursuant to section 36:1 of the Ghana Health Service and Teaching Hospitals Act 1996 Act 526. I am respectfully directing the board to suspend the chief executive officer for a period of 2 weeks with immediate effect for causing to be announced the suspension of admissions of emergency cases to Comfort Nochi Teaching Hospital on Wednesday, June 3, 2026. He will be required to report to me upon the expiry of the 2 weeks. 2 weeks. The chief executive admitted before me on Wednesday, June 4, 2026, that he acted contrary to the clear directives of His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana by that said announcement. The meeting was attended by the Chief Director, the Technical Advisor, and the Legal Advisor to the Minister. Now, watch your blah, 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 blah. But I just want you to know the reason for the suspension. No? And the reason, no, and say, President Ahmad directive said, ema obia teaching hospital bia nsaki obi ananse obia hospital bia be kase obi emba ho magia yarehwe in terms of emergency enti papa ya na motu ye ne akwatia president ano asem akwatia president ano asem enti per this particular way no or patch say nunti ena or suspending no enam so ma let away by no I can say papa yi board no minister directed board no so mo suspending no ye suspending no doctors no eco strike doctors no declare strike national labor commission and so the character ba say doctors no ensamre adwuma na almost strike na omo kono illegal and uba Facebook doctors almost declare strike because of the suspension of the CEO. National Labor Commission say illegal omo ni kwan say omo kosa strike no. Now first of all I've cleared say omo argue say the minister no ain't me and directive board no or that right in the Ghana Health Services Act no or that's right into why but whilst minister no authority in that act say or directors yen suspend the CEO no the CEO enkwa enyo no nkwa na sorry ya obetiki the decision the CEO management team so yes central management of the hospital to you board ni free wa your management of the hospital ebe 7 directors and the kind ho a omu take such decisions no decisions o take yes ehwa ye ma enti yemfa other hospitals no na ye no omu nkasa na omu nyi nipa ni bi se ebe ya doctor fo omu wonim die specialist ni betimi akɔhwɛ aboa ewo danse ye be mo magu abonten atwen se omu brenso sa decision na CEO ni take ye no he didn't unilaterally take that decision to say ono nkwa na atras ya boni tumi oba ya o say mi na me boss mu nyina mu nyai. It was a management decision and that act na ma minister ne power etimi di dwuma that same act no ema management no su to me so omu su to me operate the day to day running of the hospital sa to me no a minister enya from the act no sa act na so ma management ni to me say omu su to me running the day to day activities of the hospital say be save lives. Etiyeso omo tenase efa dwene hu se yeye we ebeboa no omo de ye adwuma edura eso omo ensure se omo be formulate and implement policies all the units ni be use na etimi aboa ame agi nipa nkwa management na adwuma no etiso omo hu se hwa ye ma no omo fin se ma me nchro let me show you the composition of the management itself ebi kura nso wo board nim we board no composition chief administrator of the hospital dean relevant medical school ono di ofra bontin ebeba medical director of the hospital wom director of administration of the hospital wom director of nursing service wom director of finance wom director of pharmacy wom dean of dental school eno de ono su ofra bontin ebeba from the university on su wom and 3 other persons ye be appoint wom so aba can board no nyina nso wom etino we ye board no it will show omo free hospital na nka say mu ebi omo board no so omo ye be 5 pe appointees ne other ones on free baby ba no be kan bomu be 6 it is all keka ni nyina bomu a na se koba ne se ye nto abakura no a the decisions that will go on the board no hospital for mpanifo de wo ho no nko akura number no entimi ensesa de eba no yes. But o hwe sa mpanimfo omudin wa ha no so a oba management yin so a team na omo wo so bi the central management no ye wo chief executive officer the CEO no Dr. Pakwesi Bedi no and ye wo medical director Labi director of administration director of finance director of pharmacy director general service director of nursing ye kan ho asem midwifery service ono so and na ye wo director of human resource ono so and wo form management no it takes a decision no I see management has decided say na enkoso no sankrofo we nyidom ye mpanimfo mo da hospital no ano no nurse fo mpani power da o ma no omo accounts omo gigiska penny power da o ma no pharmacy penny power da o ma no omo nyina ka management no omo take this particular decision say ehwo ayema de a yenye ne sei enti CEO no na ye penny wo da no de yɛde ne ti agye akyerɛma de Now, so the decision itself, no, a young perform winning dear ewa pomdia jumani mua, woman da unit departments nano, and ya do chia jenny, say young management decision ya yetikini. They know the situation on the ground. Omuna wa hospital, omuna nim the echo, say, omunsu a said dear da almost say, omuya management, no more shares on running hospital, and say, Beya will be shrenankwa, none of my bekoyi. To omu said no man say nekono, decision omuteki no. And say, Omubema peripheral hospitals no so hold cases no na almost specialists ni biakobwa. And yes, sir, manfo be DQ so sir. Na me person share statement a free Ghana Medical Association, KATH doctors, no laboratory staff, and GRNMA, nurse school wo hono nyina na yehwa ade Jeff statement no etosoma me we laboratory scientists omo konfanoche. Omo letter no omo asem no wa. Na uridia or say the Ghana Association of Medical Laboratory Sciences, Konfanochi Teaching Hospital, has taken note of the directive issued by the Honorable Minister, blah, 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 but the person of baby I am read, no, or say the temporary suspension of emergency admissions, however uncomfortable that announcement may be, was a management decision born out of operational reality, not defiance of authority. Hospital management has a legal, ethical, and professional obligation to avoid situations where patients are admitted but cannot receive adequate care due to resource constraint. To continue receiving patients beyond capacity without the means to treat them would itself constitute a far graver dereliction of duty. And say. Ne tintin nyina medical laboratory ayifo ku na wo konfa no kire kire se omo nso boss ka ho na omo take decision omo so director ka ho and wo kire se if se omo gi nipa no gu was oh nipa no mra ebi mu abonten enti ho na ye ma ye wie we ya na ye de we kwa emwa apomudin ehwe no because ebema situation no kura aye critical nti obi oyare a wo twen no ebe wi ase no de bia yare no kura ye ntimi anhwe ne yie se de se fata na akofo how the aba eti ye say omo take that decision no dan so be nipa na betra wo say omo ye be nipa 200 e ho so fa 61 ti we free mu a ni akofa bia ba nti omo twen ni nyina na apomudi no e kofem e wo nipa no no twen no akwam eti di enti na management so wo asede a emra ebo machi dom so omutimi take decisions a ebebua na abo nipa apomudi ho ba nti di omo ye no omo de laboratory scientists no mo humfum so bia won so bia omo tietia mampani ano asem ho. Because omujaya nipa bewu. That's the purpose of the letter. Now, Jeff, another one, mommy. We the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association. Almost dieni. Maybe say a kind 0.3 mini brainty. The letter is long. Or say health professionals are working under extremely difficult conditions, and changing this narrative cannot be achieved with the suspension of the CEO. Omo admit say conditions e wo na muye adwuma no kra na edin. Na now they compare the edikaino, you understand the conditions they are talking about. A laboratory for the no. Now, Ghana Medical Association so accommodate or say the actions taken for Ghana Medical Association the no mame. I just want you to know all these statements about from all the unions and the groups. Or say the actions taken, the actions taken by the management of Konfanochi Teaching Hospital was the right and proper professional. We Ghana Dr. Fuan Kabomu Kuina na Ekasa. Our nim dear wapomudim Jansan on be release no munim de omoka. Because more doctors say professor Shadi Osanye, president dear Professor Dr. Med. If you are technical officer or a doctor or no one professor and onima pomudin jewi. Or say Professor Dr. Med NS York. TNO said the actions taken by the management of Konfanochi Teaching Hospital was the right and proper professional and administrative decision in line with best practice in patient safety and responsible healthcare leadership across the world. The actions taken did not turn away patients to their faith or flout the president's directive, but rather redirected patients and ensured they receive safe and timely care at nearby hospitals with support from specialists from KATH. Almost say, sir, doctor no, I see you now suspending no, and I'm on in penny for 2 hono. Almost the boy ya reassing in an share for Pomide hono, a jitun say, so be many panatna where would ye? One pamomo, or share so monko apomden aso ye ben kakra na oma specialist in free confirmation correct because omo confirmation omo nya ba bi na me enhwe omo enti we mo kire say Ghana Medical Association kire say ne kwan so ano no ma nya mfomso bia or say the decision the actions taken did not turn away patients but omo ye bibi. The last one was the decision with the coordinated efforts of the Regional Health Directorate, Regional Coordinating Council, health facilities, and hardworking health workers in the region led to significant decongestion of accident and emergency center and a resumption of new admissions to KATH emergency within 24 hours. And by 24 hours, no just a decision that you take na ma omo ko na konya ya de hwe na ma konfa no so na ba peso no obi nya home kra. Etimi ma ehɔ no easy ye ema ehɔ ye kama mum kura itimi hwe nipa etu omu hu die ntia ese ye suspend CEO etu omu kan say yemfa CEO ni mrantem ensa metra na konwa so statements no doso ye wo KATH doctors no so de we mu de but I just want you to know me brain itimi fa we emum now the CEO anka say don't come to KATH, go home and die per the Ghana Medical Association. All the unions, the groups are what is going on the ground. Anka says you will say they should go home. But omo ko hospital for fra e ben na what man specialist attended to omo there. And yes, woman kunku. Now, woman say you better say on by any side and so many DQ so I say bedroom so never be a situation now your west. When a common logical. A common logic. The approach near practical. And in fact, is a humane and life-saving far better than say, ye be many partner awo kiu mu, ne bedru baby no, or timu China na the situation na your west. May this suspension, in my view, is purely political. An attempt to cover up systemic challenge. Now I like it, say Minister Nadi release the bar, Enra. Or say they are aware of the challenges, the long-standing, I like the word you use, long-standing challenges of Konfanoche and the others. Because of systemic failure, I see it as a cover-up. Because we all know the situation. KATH is overstretched. In fact, 16 regions, no, a firm 12, Obiaba KATH. Yet, yentimi expanding yeshi. Shankrai Pumprimantem 5.4 million, Kumasi 5.4 million. A little the data daswa, a mark crachi in Kumasi. Baukon Kraya. They have Rich Hospital, Ubetumia Akokoa, Police Hospital 37 Kraya Yeswa, Kolebu Suho, Awumunanti, Kolebu Peswa. All these three facilities need to meet GB Mamuhotom. But ask yourself, say in the Ashanti region, where else? The problem is there. But the and I pity the CEO because it's unfortunate only the facility and what enormous responsibility any adequate resources. That is his problem. It's not that he's not competent or he's not ready to work. But because adia etuno wahano say bi kura kolebu CEO so nete ha ebi kura nka decision obetiki be worse than this. Seeing people so mu ginani mu ambulance salai nipa salaya unso why ma utumi so mu condition ne emwa na wo hwa say enru omo so ansa na omo ba no wo ye nipa wo betrete. And so as management no they would definitely take some of these decisions. Peripheral facilities no admit wo no manage kakra specialist meboa. So I don't see why. But minister say a president directive unti because man penisi me mo bia anko and wa mo bia wa ma bi ni mo akọ. But imagine me be so senki yewie Afari Military Hospital yewie KUST and yewie Sewua omu nyina no definitely they will have specialists ewo and anka CEO se Konfanoche ayema etu omu nko Sewua omu nko Afari omu nko KUST Hospital nke be suspend no. Ede na ma Sewua be Sewua. Ede na be ma Afari ya Afari is because there should be a presence of specialists. It is a woman ko baby na specialist I follow up akoshe sa nkrofo no a. Is it not in the same manner? Mentiasu ade na me dwen ho a me shedan tiase ye de ntia. It feel like I say there's no space. So what else? Your politics will be mududu. Let's be honest. let's be honest, say the president directives was just political, not clinical. Because the directive no say you can say di clinical echia nipa bewu because ye mo mundi lie kosi se bedru omo so emi mo mo nko ba bi fufuro bia omo nyina konfa no che wa nipa no so dɔɔso enti ye nhwɛ wenwie no na we die na nka enya critical no so de no aye bibie wo ho whilst a hospital bi wo ho nso a say bi wa doctor fo bi e wo ho a obetumi ama specialist so akoka wo aboa ma situation aye kama we ya dia ese yetimi eti manipa no nyina hwa ko ese bedru ne so wa bra de ne critical. Me, I see that directive as a political directive rather than clinical. That is it. Honorable Minta Akando, this decision media, to me, I see nothing wrong. Say, obemeki alternative arrangement. See, when obemeki alternative arrangement, it still goes on to save lives, even if it goes against the Mampeni Kayen. It didn't kill people, but it still saved life. Because Yantis will be and I will be we. Who has reported someone died from that particular arrangement? So be a with young mechanic say, oh, because of my omko peripheral hospital, nipa 10 ni we, nipa 5 ni we. I am me and ye hosao. He didn't really turn patients away. We are redirecting healthcare to save lives. Then so medical. Now omko strike. Any Ghanaian na will lose in life, sa bribia or more strike, no. It is because of the decision, the Ministry of Health, Mr. Akando Atiki. Because doctors no say suspension into no more strike. No. Things must be done right. Things must be done right. Enti na omo mbewu ni nyina say bi obi bewu, obi beba wa nya doctor obewu, bibi beto no a. A decision I take here, you think it through year, through that cut down, no, and never win in see. Because even before this decision, no, as a stakeholder engagement, Nina Koso, Maumina Timothy, as I said, this is the reason why I'm. But I quite say, the Doctors Association, they didn't really know much into until you prove to them, say, oh, Adiamo penny ye, and say, and our consequences in the Diabanti. When you take action, they won't react that way. But they are all there in the reality until they know, say, their boss acted in good faith. So they will react. Because I see the politics too much. Say yen kataso, yen kasa, yenye din, ni yenye say, miwa adene say, nti yenim se nipa ni di line so a obe wudie, enso yenye din, ni yenko kasa say, ebe hayo, and we need to change. That's my take on it. Insha 104.5. Ebusunya meba.
Oh yeah! Come on! Insha
104.5.